Welcome to episode 3. We had our test run last time. We had an interview with Street. I think now is a good time to kind of get to know everybody.
This is actually going to be episode 2.
Okay, because fuck that second episode. You don't even know about that. But we're going to introduce everybody to you, introduce to each other, and we're going to get this shit popping, man.
Hell yeah, man. We're gonna do a quick little interview of Saunt, and then Saunt and Street are gonna interview C-Maz.
Hell yeah.
So let's get this shit started, bro.
Alright, so first question, Saunt, let me ask you, where are you based out of?
Well, I mean, I'm all over the place, but right now I'm in between Brooklyn and Jersey.
Okay. How long you been doing this up there?
Oh man, real long time. I was born in Weehawken, but I did my high school in the Bronx, and I met my boy. I was always into like writing like poetry and stories and shit like that, and I was always into music. And my grandfather raised me, and he was really into like Motown and the old Delta blues stuff and Howlin' Wolf and Robert Johnson and all that. I grew up with all that, right?
Yeah.
And I met a friend of mine who actually, he's like one of my best friends in the world. But I met a friend of mine when we were like high school kids and stuff like that. He went to like a Catholic school or some shit. Like I remember, but anyhow, he had skills. And everywhere I went, he was like a neighborhood kid. And everywhere I went, people were like, oh, you think that you should see this kid Cash. Until one day we met and we started battling each other. And at the end of it, it was like there was no beef. We were just so impressed with each other that we were like, yo, we got to do something and shit. And we ran together for a few years.
Yo, that's tight, man.
Yeah.
So, what would you say your art represents, and what genre would it be, if any?
I don't know about genres. I mean, it's nothing if it ain't hip hop. But
fair enough.
I guess my whole thing comes from the idea. I mean, I write this for me, you know what I'm saying? But I know I'm writing to an audience. But like all good art, I just think that the ideology behind what makes hip hop is how genuine it is. So I, like anybody else would say, you know, I write about what I know. You know, my art's about what I know, what I live.
Okay.
So it's just real. I don't know, you know, it's just real. It's definitely not dance music. That's what you ask me.
All right, so let me ask you this: what are some of your musical influences?
Well, like I said before, Delta blues is a huge influence. Motown was a huge influence. I'm a huge fan of the '80s. Huge fan of '80s music, man. I mean, the sounds were crazy. People looked fucking insane. It was whack. The fashion was whack, but the music was insane. It was genius.
Yeah.
As far as hip hop goes, it goes without saying Wu-Tang. But my first inspirations, the first people that really got me to do this stuff, was KRS-One. And Ice-T, believe it or not.
Ice-T, really?
Yes. Ice-T and KRS-Ones were really the ones that first, like, spoke to me.
Hell yeah. Now, I know you said before Nas. Nas was a big one for you, right?
Nas huge. Nas is huge. Absolutely.
What's your favorite Nas album? That's a good question in my book.
Ooh, it's really hard for me. Okay. Because, I mean, everybody says Illmatic. Yeah, everybody says Illmatic. But I really like the, was it the I Am album? Yeah. Which one is the one that says, with, I gave you power, I made you buck, wow, how you like me now?
Yeah.
Where if I ruled the world on it and shit.
Fuck yeah, man.
Classic.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, it's between those two. It's like a tug of war, man, you know. But he doesn't really make whack shit.
No, he doesn't.
You know? Yeah.
So when you say, back to the other question from before about what your art represents, you know, would you say that you represent your art, or does your art represent you?
My art is my art represents me, I think. But my art's like it's a weird therapeutic experiment. You know what I mean? It's really just, you know, it's my therapy.
Definitely.
I don't know how else to put it. It's a selfish thing. Like when I'm creating, I don't think to myself, well, okay, this is for the fans, and I'm not going to sit out here and lie about that. It's a very personal thing between me and the universal muse, and I'm purging. I'm just fucking purging. And I'm just puking all over everybody and shit. And I'm just saying, here, listen, if you can connect with it and it can help you in some kind of way, good. And if not, fuck you out there.
That's real talk right there, man.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. So what are some of your non-musical influences?
Some non-musical influences? Is that what you asked me?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. William Shakespeare. I got the complete works here. I'm crazy with it. I think that Shakespeare, and I don't know if it's like a cliche thing or one of those stereotypes where, you know, the writers all on Shakespeare's ass and stuff like that, but I'm on Shakespeare's dick, man. I mean, that dude was on another level with stuff.
What's your favorite Shakespeare work?
All right, without a doubt, Macbeth. All right,
good choice.
Like they're all great. They're all great. All right, like Midsummer Night's Dream, Romeo and Juliet. They're all great. Okay, but to me, that's the one that I identify with the most.
I was supposed to read that in school, and I never did. I just got the Spark Notes for it.
Yo, it's gangster. You need to read. Macbeth is a gangster play.
Yeah, it is. I like Macbeth.
It is so. I mean, oh my god, I can't put it into words.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Everybody's got to read Macbeth before they die, or watch the play. Don't read that shit because you might get lost. Like, watch a good play.
That's what was throwing me off. Is like, it's in screenplay or play format, and I was like, man, I can't get into that.
You know what? Oh, look, I got something for you, dog. You know who John Turturro is? That actor?
No, who's he?
Well, if you look this up, I think it was called Men of Respect. They actually did the whole Macbeth tale, but in a modern Italian gangster family story. You know what I mean? And I think that they did an excellent job. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't like when Heath Ledger did that 10 Things I Hate About You movie.
Yeah.
That is straight up The Taming of the Shrew. That's Shakespeare, right? But they took it and they made it like a teeny bopper, I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of whatever. Right. And I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know? But these guys, I think, did it justice. So if you want to check it out, Men of Respect, it's like old 80s and 90s movie and shit. But it's Macbeth. It's basically Macbeth.
I always think that's interesting when they have, like, modern adaptations of this type of stuff, like how Lion King is Hamlet and stuff like that. Like, it's interesting. So
absolutely.
What else for you besides Shakespeare, non-musical influences?
I'm big into philosophy and spirituality, and I'm one of those weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm part hippie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an explorer. I'm always like looking for God and looking for truth, and you know, I've slept in Buddhist temples in Asia, and freaking, you know, I grew up in a house that was really eclectic. My mother's side of the family come from like European gypsies and stuff like that, and my godparents were West African. I speak Yoruba, I speak fluent, and so I grew up with that whole like Ifa, old tribal African kind of spirituality and stuff like that, and finding the truth, because I don't like magical thinking, you know what I'm saying? But I've always been exposed since very young to these philosophical questions of like, what does it all mean, and the purpose, and how did it all start, how would it all end, and you know, what's going to happen when I die, and there's a God or what. And I've always been trying to look for that balance between that spirituality and science, you know, and it takes a lot of navigating to do that. It takes a lot of navigating to do that. You got to navigate correctly, because you can kind of brainwash yourself into believing shit that, you know, maybe doesn't work. But I'm really into that. I'm really, really into theology and philosophy, but I'm also into like the science aspect of it as well.
No doubt, no doubt.
Now tell me more about this Buddhist temple. You can't just throw something out like that without there being a story behind it. Where were you?
That story. That story goes into like a much deeper story, but I'll just give you the synopsis.
Yeah.
I was on the run. All right? I was a fugitive at the time, and I left the country, and I was on a boat. Can't remember if I was in Cebu in the Philippines. I was in Cebu in the Philippines, and I was on the boat, and I was going back to Cagayan de Oro, which is another little fucking island, right?
Right.
And and I met some monks, some Buddhist monks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like with the red and the gold sashes on and all that. And we sat down and we started talking and stuff. And they invited me back to stay with them. You know, and I stayed with them for like 2 weeks. I wasn't allowed to, like, couldn't smoke. You know, they were vegetarians and shit. You know, it was crazy. It was some crazy stuff.
That's so
but
crazy.
It was just one of those experiences while I was bouncing around Asia that I had that, you know, I have a lot of that weird synchronicity going on, and I think we all do. We just don't pay attention. A lot of us just aren't aware, you know?
Definitely.
Most definitely. Yeah. So let's change gears again a little bit.
All right.
What, excuse me, what inspires you the most in your music?
Again, you know, I don't want to sound like, but the healing properties of it, for me, again, you know what I'm saying? I hate sounding, but the healing properties of it for me, whether I'm telling you, when I am in a good place and I celebrate through my music and I'm creating something of absolutely nothing. And it has weight and sound and energy and vibration, and people are listening to it, and I'm making people feel something. It's powerful, man, and I made it out of nothing. I snatched it out of the fucking sky, right? And it's cathartic. Yeah, so when I'm celebrating something and I'm celebrating it through my art, it makes it 10 times that much better. It has a high of its own. It's a high that's different from sex and different from good kush. It's a different stone. It's a natural. Those endorphins are fucking, everything's going crazy. And it's a high that can't be described unless you've been there. And then on the other hand, if I'm going through some tragic shit, which I have, and I can kind of, you know, like I said, purge that, and through a creation, I can take a loss and create something out of it and put it out there. And it heals me. It heals my spirit. For that moment, I'm alive again. I'm okay. I know everything's going to be all right. You know what I mean? I'm here for a reason. And I took something really negative and I made something really, really constructive with it. And I just, boom, it's out in the universe now. Nobody can do anything about it.
That's what it's all about, man. Have you ever played a live show before?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That gives you a whole nother level of a high. You know what I'm saying?
Same wavelength,
absolutely.
Bro. I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I have tracks about it. I have tracks about just what it feels like to perform. You know, because nowadays it's a different age. You know, I'm an old dude. I'm an older dude. You know, I grew up in the '90s. You know what I'm saying?
Which do you prefer? Do you like the writing process and the recording more, or do you like the performing of your art more?
I like the creating more.
So do I. Honestly.
See, I'm the opposite. Yeah. I like performing more.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
I do.
So
I see, but I mean, the recording part is part of the creative process for me. But as far as performance, like if I had to choose between getting that energy from the crowd, which is great, right? But and performing something I've already done, let's say, 6 times or 12 times or whatever, then I would more prefer to like be in the lab creating something brand new from something I'm feeling now.
It gets old, it gets boring.
I feel that definitely. Yeah.
So I'm gonna move on to the last question. Do you have any more questions for me?
I think my next question, just before we get to the last one, would be, what do you think? Oh man, you put me on the spot. I forget how I was gonna ask it. What do you think's your craziest story from music? Like the biggest event, whatever, like that happened when you just look back at the
craziest?
Like at the end of the day, when you look back, you're gonna be like, well, at least I fucking got to do that. At least I got this story to tell.
Oh, there's so many. Holy shit. I don't know, man. That's a hard one. I might have to someday get back to you on that one. But definitely. There's so many. Look, I'll tell you one. All right, one that comes to mind right now. I must have been like 21 at the time, and it was my boy's 18th birthday, and we rented out this entire fucking house, and we had been going from from New Hampshire. We were doing like this thing where we were just going to different gigs that we just got randomly, and they were all on the East Coast, and we were just bouncing back and forth. And we had rented this house in a fucking Sea Caucus or some shit, and it was like 2 floors or whatever. And whatever. This party starts, and no bullshit. And someone owns a tape of this. This tape exists somewhere, all right? Because someone videotaped this shit. This shit is floating around somewhere in the ether. That, first of all, the party lasted 72 hours, and I'm not exaggerating. Like I said, it's documented. I remember that they actually filmed us. They filmed me and Cash leaving the party sometime at midnight on Friday and coming back Saturday as the sun rose with a big fucking party-sized E&J brandy. It was ridiculous, but the whole thing is that so many events happened in those 72 hours that were caught on tape that it would probably destroy lives right now. There were people getting it on in the bathroom, and some dude left his shirt on top of the stove and it caught fire, and the fucking cops came, and not only did we get rid of the cops and keep partying, we were still getting, and the majority of them were underage and shit. You know what I'm saying? They were all like, it was his 18th birthday, so he had like 16, 17-year-olds partying with like 21-year-olds and shit. And it was just a hot fucking mess. But that night was fucking crazy. And there was this ridiculous chick that my boy Nico made me drive to drop her off or whatever, or drop him off at the house because he wanted to smash that. And so he was like, come on, man. Do me the favor and take this chick home or whatever. She was like this little white girl, little skinny white girl and shit. And she was in the back seat and she threw up in my back seat.
Oh, terrible. So pop them off with the last question. So
all right, last question.
All right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years with this music shit?
You know what? I'm not ambitious. Okay, so. And maybe that's always been my thing when it comes to the music. I have another life. Behind the music, I have another life that is really fleshed out and intricate and crazy. But the music for me has always been, as I said, more for me. I've never looked at it as KRS-One said in a song once, that something along the lines of, rappers should have other ways of making money. You know what I'm saying? He was like, so you won't abuse the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You won't abuse it. Too many MCs, just MCs, so their longevity depends on some Uncle Tom at the record company. You know, he, and so that always stuck in my mind where I was like, well, this is more for me and it's an art. So I never wanted to be flexible. I never wanted to compromise with anyone. I never wanted to. I was doing this for me, and I really didn't care. I know I upset a lot of people. You know, I had certain. I could have done things. I had opportunities, but to be honest, I'm just not motivated like that, right? Like I'm not ambitious about it like that. I don't want the Rolex and the $1 million. If I get heard, that's good enough for me. But I'm really just doing this for me.
Hell yeah.
Fair enough, man. So, is it safe to say that 5 years from now, you'll be just doing the same shit you're doing now, right?
I wouldn't say that because 5 years ago I wasn't doing the same things I'm doing now. So in 5 years I'll probably be doing something else. But the truth is I don't know what that is. The universe is a funny place. There's a synchronicity to it all. You know what I'm saying? But
so you don't think you'll be making music 5 years from now?
I very well could be. I've been doing it for, I don't know. I've been doing it since I was in high school, so you can imagine. You know, I'm in my late 30s.
No doubt, no doubt.
Street, you got any questions you want to ask before we move on?
I don't know what to say, man. You guys, I was just drifting in. I felt like I was just watching something on TV.
I got something for you to talk about, Street.
Yo, Street, that's how good my weed is that I smoke it and you guys don't fuck out.
Well, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here. I mean, 12 o'clock. I mean, at night. So I'm kind of zoned out. Yeah, man, I was sick, man.
So, Street, why don't you tell them about your upcoming track with Diabolic that you forgot to mention in the first episode?
Yeah, man. Thanks to John Jiggs who made it possible, man. It comes to this, like, I never thought that I would be featuring with one of the greatest in my eyes. So people I used to listen to, and people you would never think to get to them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I've managed to pull off a feature with Diabolic. One of my best friends is on it. One of my other friends made the beat. So basically, Diabolic's done his vocals, and we've written our scripts, and hopefully, very, very soon, in October, we shall go to record it. And not just that, if you guys haven't heard of K Reno, K Reno is another underground militant rapper. I'm surprised to see that not many people from the US know of him. This guy is a legend.
You put me onto him. You put me onto him.
Yeah. That guy's so sick. I've also got a collab with him, which is done. But long story short, one of my producers, which got me the collab for him, he gave the song to some next producer to master. A producer totally turns things into shambles. So now I've given the beat to someone else to master as well. So that's another big collab as well. He's basically been around for a very long time. KRS-One says he's his biggest fan. He's done tracks with Cannabis. He's done diss songs to Eminem in the past, where Eminem's actually replied back to him. So yeah, man, shouts out to K Reno. He's another don. And then I'm doing a track with John Jiggs, who's really close friends with Diabolic. He's another upcoming. Well, not upcoming. He's out there already. But I'm doing a song with John Jiggs as well, and plus I'm doing songs with C-Mass as well.
Hell
And
yeah!
Short. So
Hell yeah,
man.
that's dope. So why don't you explain to the people, in case they don't know, who Diabolic is?
Well, Diabolic is from a movement called Rebel Arms, I think. Diabolic it was in a crew, or is in a crew, with Immortal Technique. Everybody knows about Immortal Technique, I think. And he's been around for quite a while, and I think he's from Long Island, I think. And
I thought you said the
yeah, man, Diabolic's a done. He's just done a diss song to Talib Kweli a while ago. And he's quite good, man. It's basically it's hard to believe that I'm featuring with him. That's all I can say. When you think to yourself, okay, you know, normally you look around in your neighborhood, you be like, yo, I wish I can feature with him. And then you feature with him, but that's not a buzz. But when you're featuring with someone you not idolized, but someone's music used to be attracted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Featuring with someone like that, and you're like, wow. And it's wicked, man. It's amazing. Guy, to be honest with you, people say to me, how have you approached this song? And I said direct. I don't do anything indirectly. And I've approached it like I would approach any other song. Because Diabolic is good for what he does, and I'm good for what I do. You know what I mean? So
Right.
So Diabolic fans will obviously always say that, yes, Diabolic sounds better on this track. But my priority is to sound the best. But, you know, I've got a friend as well who's a sick rapper, Nega, Nega. He is one crazy rapper. He's on that track as well. So... but with the K Reno track, I've kind of gone a bit deep into that. Like, I'm rapping about the diamonds on the Queen's crown and going a bit deeper than you can think, you know, like I do, Sean. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man. And that's about it with them guys. It's just a matter of time getting them out there, man. It's just, there's no time, you see. I'm restricted because I'm busy at home with the wife and kids and, you know, doing 2 jobs, and I'm very, you know, I find it very hard to get to the studio. So, yeah,
I heard that.
I hear you, man.
Hell yeah. I heard that, kid.
You know, people say to me, why don't you bring a microphone to your house? I'm like, yeah, if I bring the microphone to the house, I might have to hang myself with it when I get kicked out.
Yeah, I hear you, kid.
Like there's a rapper called, he's done a track called, he's called Low Key, and he's done a track called Soundtrack to the Struggle. So that will be me, man, Soundtrack to the Struggle when I'm hanging outside with the mic.
Nice.
I love
But there's no date. There's no date for this track. They're just gonna come out. I mean, because I've got some next level songs coming out as well. Obviously, I'm doing some features. We're working on our freedom of speech ciphers and the Knights Table and all that.
Why don't you tell them about the Freedom of Speech Cipher project real quick? I don't think we talked about that yet.
No.
Yeah, man, the freedom of speech cipher all started from my phone. Basically, I've been working on my phone for 6 years. I don't have a computer or anything. That's why they call me Street Orphan. So basically, somebody goes to me, why do you have Facebook? You know, remember when I told you, Ryan, Sel, my phone, my contacts, everything got blocked a few years back.
Right.
And then I just scratch and then eventually I got a phone and then I just typed up a message saying who's down to jump on some nation ciphers. And then I pulled out a track with two French rappers and a German rapper, OCE from France, Shivin from France, and Manis from Germany, and we did a song. And then I've done a 5-nation cipher which has not been released yet, which consists of me representing. When I mean representing UK, I don't mean like representing UK. I mean like as in with the accent. You know what I mean? We got an Australian rapper, we got a Canadian rapper, we got an African rapper, and we got a German. So that's just in the limelight yet. And I've done other collabs, but what used to happen was, say I'll send you a beat, and you reply back after 6 months, like you can't do it. So then I used to go around searching for other rappers. So then I stopped it. And then a year down the line, I just sent a message, and just recently, like, and then you replied, so yeah, I'm down for a freedom of speech. And I knew Sean anyway for nearly, I think it's been a year now. And then things just popped off again. But this time I'm just not to cut off the French rappers, because what I was trying to do was that the French public can listen to their native language, yeah. While there might be certain French people who can understand English, who can listen to me, and like I said to you before, like I'm talking to you on this side of the world, from UK to US. From the US people are listening to me as well; they'll check me out, and from UK people will check you out. Yep. So that's what I was trying to do. So basically, I was trying to network with everyone
worldwide, baby.
So I know you're still looking for people to join into the Freedom of Speech Cipher project, right?
Yeah, man. I'm looking for people who can actually talk real. You know what I mean? Who can actually hit the nail, on point. No restrictions. When I mean no restrictions, I mean like don't hold yourself from actually exposing the system. You know what I mean? And that's what I want. I want every person to be whoever it is on the tracks. Like you guys have delivered on point, and I want someone who can give us a challenge. You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah.
Like you guys are on the track, Sean's on the track, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not seeing you guys as a competition, but I'm seeing it as a challenge. Like I want to deliver the best. I want you to deliver the best. Every person on this.
It's just like skateboarding. In order to progress with skateboarding, you have to skate with people that are better than you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you skate with people that are terrible, you're never gonna progress.
Yeah, man. The funny thing is that with the freedom of speech ciphers is that you guys have done 2 tracks, I think, and now you're going on a 3rd one, hopefully.
Yeah.
My friend will be on there from the UK, Nega, and it's funny how I tell everybody to do their verses first and record first, because I don't have the facilities to record. But then there's again, I get a message in the back of my head thinking, what if the other rappers are thinking, why is he waiting for us to write? You know what I mean? In case he changes his lyrics. But the reason why I do that is, like I said to you, is that then it tells me that, look, Street, this track is done now. Those guys are done. Now is your time to move on. And believe it or not, I write to 2 songs at the same time. Basically, when I can't think of a rhyme with the first song, I switch the beat and I move on to the second one. And I go back onto the first one and the second one, and and then there you go, my verse is done. And sometimes I overwrite, and then the producer has to extend the beat to the way I like it. And sometimes I underwrite, and then I have to write more. So yeah, man.
I got a question I want to kind of throw out to the group real quick. Gonna kind of digress a little bit from what we were talking about. Something you actually brought to my attention, Street. I want to ask you, Saunt, why do you use the owl as your picture for Facebook? What does the owl represent for you? Because, I mean, I saw that and I was like, yo, who's this Bohemian Grove motherfucker? Like,
is this dude worshiping Moloch?
No, no, no. From the background that I come from, yeah, it's definitely no Molech kind of situation going on. Um, the owl represents an omen of great change, of danger. Something bad's gonna happen. You know, people say that like it's not like the old wise owl, or it's not like a representation of some pagan god or anything like that. It represents bad luck. Represents bad luck. And so I have it there to remind me that the devil's busy. The devil's always busy. The devil's always watching. The owl is gonna stay up all night while I sleep. He's gonna watch me. He's gonna,
Kind of
you know what I'm
reminds
saying?
me. You ever see that movie, The
Yeah.
Fourth Kind?
Yeah.
There
I've sent
is
you
no
a message,
owl.
I think, Ryan. Ryan, I've sent you a message.
All right.
No,
Well,
you're not talking about
I can't really
you're
look
not
at
talking about
that right
close
now.
encounters, right?
Yeah.
The Fourth Kind, yeah.
Close encounters. I mean, yeah. It's yeah. I mean, we're talking about the close encounters of the third kind. No,
Nah, the fourth
the
kind.
fourth kind.
The fourth kind. That's just what it was called.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the one. Yeah. Hold on a minute. That's the one where it's like a mockumentary kind of thing.
It's like in Nome, Alaska. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like real footage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out. Yeah. And so they had some symbolism with the owl there as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Street.
Yeah.
Now you use in our group chat the alien all the time, and you were telling us some stuff about why you use that. Could you elaborate again for the viewers now?
Say that again.
The alien that you use in our group chat. I know that you said it had some symbolism for you. What's up with the alien?
Well, that alien represents a revolution that's alienated from society. Reality. You know, those guys are like aliens. Those guys are like aliens in this world.
Hell
like
yeah.
the people who speak the truth are like aliens. and basically when you know, like, I'm telling you straightforward, man. When I'm walking, you know, I've been to a few shows where people are talking, you know, ridiculously stupid, and everybody's getting hyped, and I've gone on stage, and it's like, once I was at a performance where somebody was talking about things he had which he didn't, and I swear down, I didn't even mean to do this. I've gone on stage and I've done a song where I'm talking about things I have, but then halfway through the song, I say I'm talking crap. This is what. So basically, I switched the tone from being someone fake to being someone real. And the alien represents someone with a hidden talent. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone who, once he gets out, you know, like my movement is called the Forbidden Scripts. This is why it's called forbidden, because those guys are like, we're not aliens, but those guys are like aliens. Because if we get out, we're gonna cause damage. When I mean damage in a sense of damaging the system. That's why I use the alien to actually, you know, because I feel like I've been neglected by the system, like everybody.
We use the wolf brain. Why don't you explain why we use the wolf and the symbolism of the wolf?
Yeah.
I think that one quote explains it the best. It kind of goes something like, "The lion and the bear might be more powerful, but the wolf doesn't perform in the circus."
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah,
The alien kind of reads your mind, you see. So
I'm down with the alien stuff too. We're in a side project called First
you
Contact.
see the one more thing, the aliens kind of seducing the industry, you see. At the same time, that's some next level thing, man.
All right.
It's such a different world.
All right,
Go
so we've had this going for a while. We didn't get to our interview, but we'll just do that on episode 3. Does that sound good for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, you know. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, we got a couple things we got to do. This has been going for a while, so this has been episode 2, Knight's Table. Brain
Everybody,
Cell.
thank you as always. Be sure to check everybody out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Why don't you guys run through that real quick? Saunt, start with you.
Yeah, check this out. Much love out to my boy Red Rebel, all my guys out United Soul Alliance. Check out UnitedSoulAlliance.com. Read the hard way. Peep it out, man. Shit's fire.
Word up.
Street.
Did we
Street.
lose Orphan?
Yeah, what did you say?
Where can they find you on the
Yeah.
socials? The medias. Where can they find
No,
you?
your line. Sorry, your line cut off, man. Your line cut off.
It's all good.
Yeah, man. Find me on Facebook. Find me on my web, streetorphan.red. It's on my Facebook. I've just dropped a mixtape. Please support a Street Orphan for £5.
All right,
And
so
check my
everyone
album
look
out.
in the description of the video. I'll put everyone's Facebooks there if
Yeah,
you want to
man.
get in touch
Yeah, man.
with them.
Yeah, man.
You already
And,
know.
hopefully, you guys will be listening to the Freedom of Speech ciphers soon to kick off. Yeah.
Hell yeah. You already know about us. CMAS, Rich Steve, Brain Cell, for Saunt and Street Orphan. This has been Knight's Table episode 2. Much love, everybody.
Peace
Yo,
out.
peace.
Much love.
Peace and blessings.